Good evening, my impatience. How art thou? It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. I am live and I'm ready to perform for all of you. I hope you will come. I hope you will come engage with me. While you people come joining here, I'm going to share some artwork I created. And, I think the artwork I created is interesting, is very interesting. Here we go. So we're going to start off with this one. I'm watching a Nirvana concert with my dad, and Poppy says, Kurt Cobain is totally you, dude. Now, I'm not sure if I should take that as an insult or a compliment. On one hand, he's suave and cool. On the other, success ended badly for him. So I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or an insult. The next, I feel like everyone all around me is focused on me in a critical way. I feel like they know what I'm thinking. I feel emotionally naked and transparent. Dr. Natural says, you feel in danger. It's a panic attack. You're projecting your fears into the minds of others. I say, I feel anxious and agoraphobic, so I hide at home alone 24/7. The next one. Sometimes I feel like I'm a human lie detector test. I'm extremely perceptive. I feel telepathic. Dr. Natural says, telepathic people do not exist. No one can mentalize what's in your mind with 100% accuracy. I say the reason I'm this way is because I grew up in a chaotic household and environment. I had to be able to read other people's emotions and be hyper-focused on emotional states. The next one, World Trade Center, never forget. New York City, 9/11. I'm actually a little disappointed with this one, but I could put more effort into it, but I kind of wanted to go home. So, and the last one, my mom says, I bought you a book on how to trust when life is hurting. Stop mistaking everyone and everything. We have not betrayed you. Nobody would sacrifice and do what we do. I ask, so I was not betrayed, scapegoated, pharmacologically abused, gossiped about, and so on. And my mother says, if you really believed any of that, you'd be gone years ago. You can count on us. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory there. That's pretty self-explanatory what that means. And I'm going to share with you some photos that I took. So the first one, I took this today. That's me doing like a Jim Morrison, kind of thing. And this is the second photograph, doing the magical point. Gordy asks, so you believe people can read your thoughts? Yeah. According to my social worker, it's called thought broadcasting. I feel like people can read my thoughts, and I feel like I can read their thoughts sometimes, depending on the individual. So apparently this is called thought broadcasting, and it's a symptom of schizophrenia. Yeah, it's a really debilitating symptom too. But apparently, put on a poker face, nobody can read your mind. Just put on a blank expression. Nobody can really. It's actually really crippling. I go into the gym, for example. I feel like everybody can read my mind. I feel like I'm transparent. It's very crippling. It's really bad. The term in psychology is called thought broadcasting. And it's not good. It's not good, Gordy says, if people could really read each other people's thoughts, There'd be no need for spies or espionage. That's a fair point. Nobody can really mentalize what's in your mind with 100% accuracy. Um, you know, Nobody is truly telepathic. I do believe people who get close romantically or get close with family members can kind of become in synchronicity, kind of become enmeshed with their romantic partner and kind of read each other's mind to an extent. But also, I think some of it could be a symptom of schizophrenia. Chiba Chiba, you're not banned. You're here. So he says body language tells a lot about a person's thought and intentions. Yes and no. I mean, sort of. I do agree. Sometimes somebody might be, thinking their thought broadcasting, so they're really anxious, and they might behave a certain way, thinking people are thinking certain things about them when their intentions might not be nefarious. And I'll give you a perfect example. So let's say you go. Let's say I'm going to use. Let's say you see a news story about somebody who was a woman who was violently murdered, and you see a woman at the gym, and your thought broadcasting, she's looking at you in a nefarious way, and you start behaving anxious. You might not have bad intentions. In fact, your intentions might be good, but you might project your fears into the mind of hers, that she's looking at you in a critical way, and that can really make you anxious and give you a panic attack and make you want to run out of someplace. I mean, I do believe people have intuition about people and can pick up on certain people, and I do believe that exists. And body language can definitely tell a lot about somebody. But sometimes, do I really want to? Do I want to attack the woman at the gym? Of course not. No. Do I have nefarious intentions? No. I'm a goody two shoes. I want a wholesome, true love relationship. So stop projecting that I'm thinking anything nefarious. I'm not. It's thought broadcasting. So that's something to keep in mind. Some of it's anxiety, some of it's thought broadcasting. That's the point. That was actually the story I was referring to, the guy who attacked the woman on the train. And, that's the story that got me uncomfortable. And I started projecting, the guy to the right of me thought I was a racist. The woman thought I had nefarious intentions. No, nobody thinks this. I'm just working out on the treadmill, stare at the baseball game, stare at the music channel, don't stare at the news. Yeah. What do I want to start attacking the African American guy and the woman? No, of course not. It's just an intrusive thought. No, I don't. I'm projecting my fears of racism. I'm projecting my fears of, of being a nefarious monster like the guy on the train was. Yeah. I want to start attacking these. No, of course I don't. Yeah, I have nefarious intentions. So he says, do you think medication can help with these thoughts and anxiety? I think the psychopharmacologist would probably say yes to that. Yeah, I think it's anxiety. I think anxiety's a part of it too. Yeah, it's definitely anxiety too. But realize nobody can read your mind. Nobody can tell what's in your mind. Put on a blank expression, put on a poker face, and just tell yourself you're thought broadcasting. Nobody can read your mind. And besides, nothing nefarious is really in my mind. It's just an unpleasant news story. Somebody says maybe you need some medication because therapy isn't doing its job 100%. That's a fair point, Gordy. That's a fair point. All right. So yeah, I went to the art class today. That was kind of fun. It was kind of fun. I got out. I did some things. It's good to get out and engage with the world. Somebody says you're too much of like a recluse, like a solitary man who. Let's see if the spider's still on the floor. Where did the spider go? Oh, there's a spider on my floor before, and I didn't kill it. I didn't put it outside, so it's around here somewhere. But it seems to have gone under the cabinet or under the refrigerator or couch or something. Yeah, it was grossing me out. I didn't know what to do about the spider, so I just let it crawl wherever it may crawl. Hopefully, I don't eat it in the middle of the night. I know they say don't you eat like a certain number of spiders in your lifetime. Someone says spiders are your friend. Yes, yes. I didn't want to kill it. I got grossed out killing it. I didn't want to put it outside, so I just let it crawl. It was a pretty big spider too. It was a pretty big spider too. So I'm just letting it crawl around my apartment. I don't know. I need to get a girlfriend who doesn't mind killing insects, and get her to just throw the spider outside or kill the spider. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, it's a spider. That's a real like woman. I mean, I don't mean to assign gender roles, but typically, it's the male's responsibility to kill the spider. Typically. I'm hungry. Where should I go for dinner? Where should I go for dinner? Me hungry. Me belly's rumbling. Me hungry. Gordy says Chipotle. Why Chipotle? I mean, I guess I could. I'm probably not going to go to Chipotle, though. Mexican's too rich and spicy. I'm trying to be petite and sexy. Petite, slim, and sexy. Chipotle's fattening. I do go to Taco Bell, and Chipotle's a step up from Taco Bell, I guess. Chipotle. La, 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 la. All right. Anybody have any last questions or comments? I think I'm going to wrap up this live stream here. You people, I mean, not with. So says get chicken wings. Ooh. That's not a terrible. I mean, it's an interesting enough idea. Maybe I'll go to the supermarket. Maybe I'll get tuna fish. Tuna fish for dinner? No, not really. All right, guys. Yeah. La 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 la. All right. So did they ever arrest the person of interest in the Charlie Kirk assassination, or did they not arrest the person? Yeah, that's scary. I mean, I realize I'm kind of an unknown and a nobody, so nobody really wants to target me. But that's scary. You could just be going about your business, and somebody could just kill you for no reason. But look at Iriana Zarutska. She was targeted and killed, and she's not even a celebrity. So yeah, it's kind of scary. Somebody says people are calling the murder of Charlie Kirk a professional assassination. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, but But yeah, that's a little bit not even a little. It's really bad. I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was, to be perfectly honest with you. But I mean, I literally just found out about his existence yesterday. But yeah, he seems like a family man. He seems like, you know, a good guy. So it's tragic. You know, it's tragic. You know, but I guess tragic things happen in life. You know. Why do you think he was targeted? Do you think for his political ideology? Yeah, it's too bad. It's just too bad. There's a lot of things in life that make you just say, "Yeah, it's too bad," you know. But Gordy doesn't seem to like Charlie Kirk. Okay, I mean that's your take. A lot there were. I was browsing social media and there was a lot of people who seemed to like him though. I mean, some people say mostly the right wing audience on X, formerly Twitter. But there's a lot of people who seem to like him. It seems like the left wing hates him, the right wing likes him, but he doesn't. He didn't deserve to get murdered, you know, even if you don't agree with his political ideology. You know, just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean they deserve to get assassinated. You know, it's like, all right, yeah, I don't agree with his politics. Okay, so that doesn't mean he deserves to get that's a real net. I mean, there's a lot of artists and performers and politicians and so on that I don't like. I mean, but to wish something like that on them. In fact, I would. It's kind of. La, 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 la. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get going here. Any last questions or comments, or I mean, you got anything to say, Gordy? Gordy says, "Go get some wings, buddy." All right. Maybe I'll get some wings. Maybe I'll get some chicken wings. All right. Peace out. Adios. I hit the bricks.